First in his mind, trying to contemplate who he was and what was happening to him. Then in his body, pushing away the excruciating pain. His eyes opened to a blur of pastels. White, light brown, pale yellow, a tinge of blue. Nothing was moving in the blur except a brown flat thing that kept cadence with a creaking sound. Please, I have to be there when he wakes up. The man pushed his way past the nurse and headed into the room. Leaning over the bed, he tried to look through the mosquito netting that tented over it. "Brom, you in there, old man? It's Kelly, from the ship." Brom fought with his senses to clear his mind as well as his vision, which was slowly coming into focus. He saw he was lying in a bed encapsulated in gauze. The man outside the netting was talking to him. Kelly. Kelly! It all came back fast and hit him hard. He bolted into a sitting position. Searing pain cut him to the quick. Every muscle, joint, bone, and tendon was sore and painful. He howled in agony, clutching his body for comfort. Kelly pulled back the netting as the nurse, giving him a dirty look, settled Brom back down into the pillows and blankets. "I don't understand. You were on the ship when it—" "Yeah. Me and a couple other guys were the first to be picked up. We lucked out and floated on a large piece of the captain's wheelhouse." Kelly's face changed quickly as he recollected. "It was real bad, son. But," he cracked a smile, "some of us made it. I couldn't believe it when they told me you were here. I mean, after all, you were down in the hold." Brom raised up on one elbow. "Kelly, Mo, is she—" "She's still down, but look, she's still alive. That's why I had to come here. I knew when you woke up you'd want to know." "Where is she, Kelly?" "They've got her at a special place for elephants, outside town a ways. Everyone's talking about her. That's how I heard. I ain't been there, but I don't think it's too far." "I've got to go to her, Kelly." Brom started to get out of bed. "Hey, wait a minute. Now look, you've been in here 7 days, a whole week. Let the doctor do his stuff. Give you a few needles, some x-rays, then get a good night's sleep. And if things look good in the morning, well, maybe they'll let you see her for a little while. I'll personally take you to her." Brom lay under the covers thinking about what had happened and what he must do. He slept well into the night. When he awoke, the room was dark. Switching on a small table lamp, he took a look around the room for the first time. At the far corner of the room, a very old man wearing a turban and sarong sat on a carpet on the floor. In his hand was a thin rope that led to a large, flat rattan fan attached to the ceiling. When pulled, the fan waved to and fro, cooling the air in the hot, humid room. Unfortunately, he'd fallen asleep, and the fan hung motionless. Brom had to find Mo. Fighting off the excruciating pains in his body, he lifted himself to an upright position. He fumbled with the netting, tried to find the opening, but his patience wore thin, and he ended up ripping a large hole in the transparent material. Sliding through the gap, he searched the room for his clothes, which were nowhere to be found. Brom took one of the large pillowcases, tore an opening in the closed end, and slipped it over his head down to his waist. By standing on the bed, he managed to untie the cord holding the netting together and used it as a belt, fastening it around his waist to hold up his skirt-like apparel. A second pillow was ripped into strips, from which he fastened a simple but effective turban. Once done, he examined himself in the reflection of the medicine cabinet. "Not bad," he whispered to himself. "Not bad at all." Moving to what appeared to be the nearest exit, he pulled back the red and white striped curtain and cautiously looked out. There was no one to be seen. Brom took a few steps to a nearby railing and peered over the edge. The hospital, originally a Hindu palace, was structurally sound and sumptuously designed. Converted at the turn of the century, it had high, arched ceilings and giant, intricately carved columns that seemed opulent for its current use. The building featured a second floor, that opened to a view of the massive central lobby and its entrance hall.